What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to Middle of the Ring. I am your host with the most, NP. It is Monday, October 3rd, 2016, which means it is time to review Monday Night Raw. We start out the gate, Roman Reigns addressing the WWE Universe. And before he really got anything out, quick side note, I did not realize he was the first Samoan to win the United States Championship. I thought maybe The Rock had got that title in his time, but I could be wrong. I didn't know that. But anyway, he addressed the crowd and was interrupted by Lana, Rusev's wife. Lana basically saying, hey, Rusev wants his rematch or wants another shot at the championship. As you know, Rusev and Roman Reigns, they had their rematch from Clash of Champions last Monday night. And it ended in a double count out. I'm sorry. Roman basically telling her to go back, tell Rusev, get a set, come see him. We would get Rusev out there. We would have a back and forth between them scuffle. Rusev thinking he had Roman Reigns caught out there, celebrating at the top of the stage, and get Superman punched. The match has been set for Hell in a Cell. Roman Reigns versus Rusev inside of that Hell in a Cell. Another quick side note, if you checked out my video for WWE SmackDown Live's No Mercy, I actually accidentally mentioned Hell in a Cell as their next pay-per-view, and it is not. TLC is actually SmackDown Live's next pay-per-view or WWE special event. So that's just a quick side note. But, so yeah, we get that. Rusev versus Roman Reigns for that United States Championship. Hell in a Cell inside of that Hell in a Cell. And so we'll see how that storyline progresses with the next, I guess they said 4 weeks? 2 weeks? Something like that, because Survivor Series is right around the corner. So I'd say about 2 or 3 weeks. We'll see how that one plays itself out. So the first match we will get into will be that Brian Kendricks versus TJ Perkins. The Cruiserweights performed tonight. It was a good match. Didn't 100% keep my attention, but it kept my attention. They pretty much had a good back and forth. At the end of the day, Brian Kendricks wins that match via submission, doing that hook maneuver, and pretty much getting TJ to tap. Now I'm almost 100% certain that we'll have a match come Hell in a Cell. It'll be interesting to see how they put that match. Will it be a Hell in a Cell match, or will it just be a singles match? But for all purposes, it was a good match. Just didn't keep me 100% invested in it. But I'm hoping that they do a lot more with this storyline between these two, because the Cruiserweights are definitely a breath of fresh air. But it's just going to take a little time to get the storylines right and get those guys where they need to be. So we come up to the squash match. That is right, ladies and gentlemen. It was a squash match. Braun Strowman versus another jobber. They did say his name, and I apologize that I did not get that. But Braun Strowman making light work of the young man and basically saying, hey, I want some new, not new blood, but I want some competition. I want to be challenged. So he made his demands. Mick Foley, find me some competition, or it's going to be a problem next week. So it is going to be interesting to see how Mick Foley responds to that. It will be good to see Braun Strowman with some competition giving him more than just a squash match. But in all purposes, I do understand why they did it, make him the beast that he is, before you really start putting anybody who may give him a threat. So, like I said, squash match, but it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out next week with his demands, and will they be met. The next thing on the program would be a promo from Jericho. And quite frankly, this was pretty good entertainment. It had me laughing. I don't know about everybody else. A lot of people would just like to see more wrestling. I like the whole aspect of it, entertainment. But Jericho came out with the list of Jericho, protesting why they are the best of friends, interrupted by New Day. A hilarious back and forth between all five of those gentlemen. All three of New Day being put on list of Jericho. Xavier Woods actually being put on there twice. So it was a good match, or a good promo, I should say. They ended up did have a match at the I guess the next segment, maybe the segment after, I don't remember the order of that one. But they did have a good promo. Jericho was looking to get those WWE Tag Team Champions. I still see deception between Chris Jericho, Kevin Owens. I don't know when the backstab is going to happen, but it's coming. It's obviously coming. And, Chris Jericho being the heel that he is, it just has to happen that he is going to backstab Kevin Owens sooner or later for that WWE Universal Championship. He did make mention of it in that promo, which kind of raised some eyebrows. Could this be coming sooner than we thought? But all in all, good promo between all five of those men, and they had a pretty good match. New Day did come up with the win with the assist of Seth Rollins. So it will be interesting to see how that one plays out with those 6 individuals. As you know, Kevin Owens, Seth Rollins, they will eventually meet at Hell in a Cell for that WWE Universal Championship. I'm not 100% sure if this will be a one and done for Jericho and New Day. As it was told to us, as it was told to us, Sheamus and Cesaro will have the next tag team championship match with New Day, but it'll be interesting to see that roll and how we all get to that point. So we would get into the next match: Sami Zayn versus Titus O'Neil. Titus O'Neil, I'll be gone for about two weeks. Supposed to be revamping his image, coming back to kind of get a restart, but he ran into a roadblock of Sami Zayn. Good to see Sami getting a win here. Definitely somebody with a name to Titus O'Neil, but not one of those big wins that everybody's looking for him to get. But put another win under his belt for the sake of argument. Titus O'Neil pretty much going back to the drawing board on that one. I don't really know what they can do with him. It seems like they were rocking with the primetime players. Obviously, you want to do your own singles thing. I'm just not seeing him get that big push or that big reception from the crowd anymore like he used to. Not sure what he needs to do. Now, maybe this heel run should maybe get him a little fire under him. But I don't know. We'll see how that works out. But Sami Zayn picks up the victory over Titus O'Neil. So the next match we would get into is a tag team match. Anderson and Gallows taking the boots to Golden Truth. Let me just say, these guys, Anderson and Gallows, with the new attitude, is exactly what they should have been, or they should have remained when they started. They had the no nonsense, just beat them up attitude. They kind of strayed away with that, with the doctor and nursing home gimmick. But they got right back to what made them stars overseas, what the WWE actually brought them in there to do, which is just to beat up people and beat them up bad. They did take out Golden Truth with pretty much ease. They still have a mission to knock off New Day. And I definitely think that match should happen at Hell in a Cell. I would look forward to seeing that match because I think going New Day going against Sheamus and Cesaro would be kind of a mix-up. Both of them being faces. They need the heels to go over on preferring to Sheamus and Cesaro. By the time you get to by the time you get to Hell in a Cell, New Day should be at the 479 or 485 mark, which would make them the longest tag team champions in WWE history. But Anderson Gallows definitely looking good, definitely doing what they're supposed to do, as just being the beat up, take them out tag team. Great to see these guys doing what they do best. All right, so we would get into another cruiserweight match, two for the night, which is good. Get them out there, get them time to shine. We would have Rich Swann versus Tony Nese, or Tony Nese. This was a lot better match than the T.J. Perkins, Brian Kendrick match. A lot more fast paced, which you expect from the cruiserweights. Tony Nese definitely dominated this match, but he did not over dominate. He did not. It wasn't a squash match by no stretch of the imagination. Rich Swann, definitely had his moments where you thought he was pretty much going to take this victory. But Tony Nese rectifying his loss last week with a win this week and showing why he is the quote-unquote premier athlete. This was a good match. Can't wait to see a lot more of the cruiserweights, but I'm enjoying what I'm seeing so far. So we would get into another tag team match. Sheamus, Cesaro, pretty much pulling that jobber move on to up-and-coming gentlemen. Sheamus and Cesaro pretty much throughout the show having their tit for tat. I'm first, you're first, I'm first, blah, blah, blah. But they are very much comical team together. I know there's a lot of people that don't like where Sheamus is right now. Not Sheamus, I'm sorry. Cesaro is right now. But I really can't see him put anywhere else right now. I don't see him in that main event match. I know a couple of weeks ago I thought that maybe this would be for a Universal Championship. And I did say, hey, it probably is Cesaro's time. But when you really sit down and think about it, I just can't see it yet for him. But he's definitely going to get there. I mean, the man is a monster when it comes to wrestling. So he has to get it sooner or later. I think maybe this tag team tag team championship run, will be the best thing for him. Get his feet wet with another title. He did hold that Intercontinental Championship, and I believe he held the United States Championship. So, but get the tag team championship under him. Let's win a couple of matches with those, and I can definitely see him getting a championship match somewhere next year, somewhere maybe a year from now, maybe 2 years from now. But he definitely is going to be in that main event conversation sooner than later. For right now, they made light work of the two gentlemen that they were in a contest in, and it's pretty much the odd couple of the new era. And so it's going to be enjoyable to see what happens further with these two gentlemen. All right, all right, all right. Now we get into that main event, Sasha Banks versus Charlotte for that women's championship, Raw's women's championship. This is the first time that Raw has had a main event featuring two women since, I believe, Lita and Trish Stratus in the 90s, I believe that was. No, late 90s, early 2000s. But it's been a long time coming. It's been at least 16 years. Let's just say that, maybe more. These two women were definitely the two to put in that main event. If you had to change one out for the other, you could definitely put Bayley in there, and it still would have been a great main event to close Monday Night Raw out, taking nothing away from these two young ladies, Sasha Banks and Charlotte. They did exactly what they were supposed to do. They main evented, and they had the crowd with them at all times. This was for the WWE Women's Championship, like I said. A good match back and forth between the both of them. Both of them telling a good story. Charlotte trying to retain that championship. Sasha Banks trying to regain that championship. We got a couple of promos and vignettes from them earlier in the program, which definitely set up for that main event. It's not really much you can say about it. They put on an excellent show. Charlotte with that corkscrew maneuver off the top onto the floor was definitely mouth dropping, and Charlotte, Sasha Banks putting in that work. At the end of the day, Sasha Banks would become our new Monday Night Raw Women's Champion, putting the bank statement on Charlotte. Charlotte trying to reverse that into a pin. Sasha reverses that right back into the bank statement. Charlotte has nothing else to do, nowhere to go. All she can do is just tap. New Women's Champion and Sasha Banks, which is what we needed. We kind of knew she would get that title back after that little back injury at SummerSlam. We just knew that that would be the outcoming game for that. All in all, Monday Night Raw was a success. I'd give it a C at the most. At times, it did have my attention. At other times, it did not. But all in all, it was a good show. I'd give it a C. So that is my Monday Night Raw for October 3rd, 2016 from Los Angeles, California. Monday Night Raw. Once, as always, this is your boy MP. For all your news, reviews, and other things pro wrestling, you have nothing else to do. Just meet me in the middle of the ring. Take care. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button and share. Also, don't forget to follow me on YouTube at Middle of the Ring Pro Wrestling Talk. Also, follow me on Facebook at Middle of the Ring, all one word, and on Twitter, Middle of the Ring, all one word.